Well, welcome to this episode of Super Summer Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Visions. We just got done watching, literally just now, we just got done watching the first 3 episodes of Visions. Oh, so we're just going to talk about the first
Next
one, which
one.
was
Hardman's literally the next
Sith.
one.
Sith. And we
I think-
got the droid from Sith.
Yes, Sith.
E2.
Seth.
The coolest droid.
Yeah.
The style of this one was really interesting. I liked it. It was,
It's pretty cool.
I'm just going to say,
A lot of symbolism.
it looks like a canvas, and then the Jedi or the Sith, the character, the protag, was painting her own path. Like, essentially, the story was she wanted to carve out or make out her own way, which essentially is just
Making her own way.
her making her own world, painting her own painting, not being beholden to the Sith teaching. So, right, and you come to learn that throughout. But
Yeah. Well, you don't know
there's,
she's the Sith right away.
awesome imagery, I would
But-
say. It's super interesting. Light and dark, like the
Very
those
abstract.
eyes.
She,
Ooh.
yeah, when she's painting, there's like she's talking about how she can't get the darkness out of it, and she's trying to, get color, but bright color, but it's only darkness. Serving as symbolism for eventually when she runs into this fucking Sith Lord boy. Find out she used to be a Sith and she's quit and she wants to form her own way and her own path.
No
And
more.
she says she's not a Sith. Not Sith. Yeah, there's that part where she's like, I can't get the darkness out of it. Yeah, and then when she opens up and there's the whole,
Yeah, he's a great
that
design.
little world
I
there.
love his design.
There's our Sith boy showing up. Yeah, shows up with a couple
They look pretty
robot-y
menacing. I like him.
boys or troop boys. Then, of course, they're chased after. They get rocked, and that's her and Sith boy.
She's fighting her master.
That's where you get to reveal
former
she used to be a
master.
Sith.
But who knows? Like, did you guys think towards the end, like, it was just
Yeah.
in her head, and she was just trying to like fight those demons? She was fighting those demons so she can actually
Oh, like a
paint
mental
her own
battle,
way and not.
maybe.
Oh yeah, the lightsaber fight and the artifacts that were coming
Good
out of
lightsaber
that was
fight.
so interesting.
Katana-y. And then she's like, she realizes there's darkness, channel the darkness and the light. They go together in paintings or whatever. And then so her lightsaber's double-ended, so she's got the light
He
side
just disappears. He gets
end
snapped,
and the
we
dark
said.
side
Or
end.
Like Broadshow pointed out, he gets snapped. Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
that's
Fucking
kind of what
Thanos
made me
shows
think
up.
that. Like,
So that might be
you
a
don't
testament to it being in
necessarily
her brain
kill-
too, right?
you don't kill Sith by them like just.
Because otherwise, why is
disintegrating,
he just
right?
gonna fucking bust out? Right. Like, you're a Sith Master now. She's like, dude, I'm no
Yeah, she
fucking
fixes the
Sith,
buddy,
bro.
the guy that. Oh, I got to get.
No,
that,
she fixes her little
that
buddy.
scene when the little
Yes, sir.
E2 blasted that sucker.
That's a good shot.
Ching, ching, ching. Huh? Bam.
Oh yeah, dude, he uses his fucking dick, dude.
So great.
Yeah, fucking number.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Yep,
Yeah.
great. Fair use. Fair use.
And then
Then she's got a sick ass ship.
where is that?
Her ship's sick
Shot of
too,
it.
when she dips out. That
It's
thing.
got to be around here somewhere.
Come on.
Oh, that's like a transition scene right there.
Whoa.
There it is.
Yeah.
Awesome design.
Um,
And then there's a little porthole for the
there it is.
droid boy, and they just
Thing's
go
tight.
off and they find their own way. Overall, a very interesting
Yep. Little droid
start
hole.
divisions,
Yep.
which is great.
Rife with symbolism. It's well done. Each of these three are kind of different styles, animation wise. This one's kind of the more I mean, it looks like a painting, but it's also very like kind of CG,
Yeah, almost
right?
like like the Rebels and
3-dimensional
Clone
rendering, I
Wars,
guess.
or like
Um,
those have texture to them. Like if you look closely, it almost
yeah,
you can see the brush
yeah,
strokes.
yeah. And
Yeah, the
then
texture
That too, really
aspect
like
reminded
herky
me a lot
jerky
of
movements and like
like Into
different
the
frame rate.
Spider-Verse.
That
yeah,
all three of these ones had the herky jerky frame. Like
yeah, it's true. They yeah, because this one's more kind of that 3D rendered CG look. The second one's more. I mean, it's computer
yeah, we'll
rendered, but
get to
it's
the second one
definitely it's
now,
got that
which
more
was
2D
do you remember the name of it?
element to it.
Screechers, Screechy Reach.
Screechers Reach.
Really interesting
Yeah,
start
Screechers Reach.
to it where
Gene
they show
Screech.
the labor, but like like
Child
Wilson
labor.
pointed out, how it pans up to see what's going on.
The
Yeah,
vertical composition of everything is really neat. With
yeah.
like
So if they're asleep, they're working. They're
they
working.
put the like lit
Mm-hmm.
white squares on the bottom that then follow up to become yellow and red. And
Yeah,
You
you
got
got
the
your
Moltars.
right there, and you got these people. Yep, and
Yeah.
three of the Moltars are our main peoples.
Dal.
One
Dal,
main
very,
Moltar
very,
named Dal.
very Irish.
Dal. Yeah, there's Dal right there in the middle. Oh yeah, we got four. We got this little boy, we got this older boy,
Little grape.
and then we get
Yeah.
Fish Lady, Fish
So
Girl,
yeah, we don't know what they're.
little grape head. And they do the thing to
Yeah,
make it look like a little kid.
we don't know what
They
they were
have
like
her eyes
mining or what
blink
they were doing. They
separately.
were just like forging some random stuff in this like desolate place. And I mean, this one was very somber, very sad. Doll wants a better life for herself, and so she's wanting
Yeah,
to
she
find
wants to get
courage to go
away.
through Screecher's Reach, which is said to be haunted. All of her friends are like, "Let's turn back,"
Yeah,
and then there is
yeah.
the creepiest.
And it's
This
got a screecher.
Screecher,
That's why it's a screecher.
that's
And
stuff of
then the
nightmares
screecher
right there.
goes
It's just
up. Yeah, dude.
those
Shit. Yeah.
yes.
And then when it
Oh,
screams, and it's
I
got
was
that like
I was
scratchy
thinking so
line
much of
render
that
on it.
that mood you get when you like wake up in the middle of the night and you like see things in the dark, and like you're like seeing figures that aren't really there. It's like you see a coat on
And you
the
have to
wall
take a
and
poop.
it's like, oh, that looks like a person.
Yeah.
when we
You
think
should say
of,
too.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Chernobog.
when we
kind
think of Fantasia.
Yeah. Good call. Yep. We should point out too. This whole time she keeps like gray hair. She's like talking to this amulet she has. You almost think it's like her holding an amulet and like give me strength. Like you think it's like in my mind it was like someone holding like a
give me
locket or
strength, give me
something of a
courage.
family
That's all
member,
she
and
was,
you're like,
muttering.
help me out or something.
And then
Yeah. Or like a religious
the beast
medal or
came in
something.
with a
But
lightsaber and started slashing.
that comes like, look at that
Love
bitch.
It looks like
Yep, there's our screecher. Oh, you even get
looks like
the
Gygas
shot
from
of the light behind it too to
Earthbound.
set up that.
It's like a swirly looking freaky thing. I love the style of that. It's just eerie and just weird. And you're thinking the whole time she's
Yeah.
she's
It's like brush
conquering her
strokes
fears,
on it
right?
and stuff.
And she's
Yeah, she's saying it's all in your head. It's all in my head. And then the
was
thing
reaching.
actually
It was
hits
the whole
her
time.
with the lightsaber. It's like, oh shit.
reaching for the light.
It
But look at this
She's
composition.
reaching for the hole.
That's so
Get
great.
out
Like,
of there.
the darkness, very much so.
Look at that shit,
You
dude.
can see the big obelisk that
Renaissance
she's wanting to
painting.
pull with the Force, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's Force sensitive. And then she conquers those fears by using the Force, getting the courage. And
Yep.
then
She makes the hole big,
just a old
and then
lady crone. yeah.
the screecher's fucking weak because it's light, I guess. It's like, the light. she's reaching for her lightsaber.
It's mine.
And
I
then
take
a little girl here
I bonk you.
goes, "No," and she takes the
And
lightsaber
then the amulet the whole
and
time
strikes her
was a
down.
communication device for this other entity, this other godlike entity that comes out of the heavens.
Yeah, it talks back to her.
This
Fucking this biblically
What were you saying,
accurate
Wilson?
angel ship that also has a vagina in the middle.
this is just really cool. Like, the first time you see it, it looks like one. It looks like one shape, and you keep seeing it from different angles, and you see different like silhouettes and different shapes from it, and like
How it moves differently, and
yeah, you're like seeing her come out of it down the stairs right now, but then it like kind of cuts.
It's
or,
like
it
it
shows
looks like a
the
feather.
side profile of it.
It's
and
like she's
impossibly
walking through a
thin.
feather.
So it's just really
it's like
cool.
artist stuff. Yeah,
Which is walking through a feather.
yeah. Dibs on album title.
And the
It's
design
very
of
almost like
whoever this lady is that comes out. Her design's really
like
cool.
how
Yeah.
they drew like Samurai Jack and like those really simplistic shapes. You know, like the just here, this character is this shape,
Right.
is like a curve. You know, Jack is very fluid, like a water. His angles are very defined. And this character's just got a big swoosh on the back. You know, it's just like a mountain.
This, yeah, this Sith lady. Yeah, she's just clean design on that, but she's like ethereal and like otherworldly, and then the
She's
light
like-
behind her
it's
gives her those kind of
definitely an
weird
allegory
angel
for,
wingy
like,
looking
some kind of
things
religious
too.
experience for this little girl.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, her voice too is very, very like satin.
yeah, and like kind of robot, but
Penis
kind of
coming
ethereal.
out.
It's weird.
Coming out of
Kind of looks like a penis, kind of doesn't.
But then
Kind of looks like a pigeon.
She's really sad, and her friends are just like, "This is
Look
really
at that
bad
thing,
for
yeah.
you," because we know that her fate, if she
Sith
goes
eye.
with this Sith kind of godlike character, is gonna just siphon the life out of this poor kid.
And she can't bring her friends with her, so she has to leave her friends behind. But it's like, do I go back to the suffering I
It's
know,
basically
or
this
go
is her
to
walking up the stairway to
unknown,
heaven. Like she's
you know?
gone. An angel came down, took her away.
yeah, she's yep, she's going into the vagina angel
Yep.
spaceship,
It's
and they're
definitely
fucking
ended
going
on such
to Sith
bummer
heaven.
note, yeah. But then we go to the next one,
It's a bummer.
which was
Yep.
in the stars.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it was a combo.
Which is a
It definitely had
like a claymation-y.
mixed media, I would say. Because
Yeah, there's definitely
a
computer.
lot of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
particles and artifacts are CG. I noticed some kind of typical
Yeah.
animation too, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
just some like physics engines. Like they just ran some physics engine thing
Yeah.
to make it look like collapsing of buildings, you know, because you can't really animate or claymate stop motion collapsing with like particles
Right.
suspended. You know, it's really difficult to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Ticini,
Yeah.
and she's on a planet.
So that's Tatini.
She's on a planet that's being sucked dry,
That's a TIE fighter.
literally.
Yep, given the good suck. The Empire's there siphoning all its resources, essentially. And it came there and wiped out all its goddamn people, including their mom, who we find out
Which is a great
was a
little,
Jedi,
Idea.
through
It's like
these little
doing the
cool
mixed
cave
media. It's like
painting
doing
things.
traditional animation, like how they're
Yeah.
trying to convey that, you know what, the first artists that drew on cave walls, you know, they're depicting this history through that.
Yeah.
And then it's just
Yeah.
kind of like a cool throwback and cool little wink.
Yep. Yeah, this basically says,
Started
yeah,
building.
this basically says the Empire came, just pooped out a ship, put up a bunch of shit. Mom was like, we must fight, and then she goes, she does pretty good, and then she gets fucking
The same ATST
blasted down by Chekhov's ATST.
It's the same door. Yeah, and she becomes a
That's
star.
what Chekhov's ATST, dude. There's a butthole right there. Yeah, so their lore or whatever is that when you die, you become a star. Yeah. So
she is like obsessed with
the little
just
girl
getting
keeps
the water
trying to
back,
use the Force,
which was a cool little like.
But she can't.
That's the motivation for these characters. They just need water to survive. So the big sister, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of Mad Max rules where the Empire controls the water. They have to go steal the water.
I'm going to go do this. You can't come with me, little girl.
She's got to back way in, go steal some shit. And then the little girl's like, I want to come in. We could beat them. I'll fucking beat them all. And the sister's like, fucking no,
so
dude. Shut
she
up.
makes it in there. And then
so you got mom strength. And she's like,
the hook
you
is
shut
that
your mouth.
Little Tachina goes in there and she gets the sirens called on her.
Little girl fucks everything up.
Yeah. Just because everything like turned out well in the end does not mean the little sister was right in any of this.
No.
The big sister had all the skills necessary to solve those problems. Like she had the Force initially. She got a staff.
Yeah. She cussed.
And
she got a big staff.
She is like her mother's daughter.
Jump,
you know, like she uses the mom strength, but she needed her sister. She needed her sister to tell her that.
Yeah.
Because
mom's strength.
Use the most strength.
Yeah, she's like, come on, mom strength. And then
just let most strength.
And then they fucking chucked her off the cliff. There you go, chucked the old girl off the cliff. And then the sister was like, I got you.
Out
and uses the mom strength.
And then as a duo, they fight the mom's arch nemesis.
Pulls her back.
Mom's Bane, yeah. The ATST.
Mom's Bane.
And then they think they're going to like crush it with the Force, but they actually just destroy a water tank, and then the water tank. This is where I'm thinking they use a lot of different media, because like look at those like physics engine renders of like just collapsing buildings. Like that's totally just putting physics blocks together. But yeah, this one was really good because after they flood the place up, everything's happy. And then they look to see, and the mushrooms are growing.
Water's back. The skies are clear now. Yep, mushrooms are growing again. And then fucking when mommy's back,
here.
And their shit lights up because the stars are shining on it. Like, see?
Coming from millions and millions of miles away.
Yeah,
so
light years.
The stars are probably already dead.
Yeah,
by the time
like their mom
reaches
overall,
them.
I would say these first three are pretty strong. I'm excited to watch the next batch.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yep. Hopefully, there's not a bad batch.
I appreciate the animation and the style and seeing the like prowess of a lot of these studios.
Yep.
I think the second one out of these three was the strongest by far story wise. I think I'm so fucking tired of seeing
vagina shit.
No, of Force sensitive person against Empire or Jedi versus Sith. Like, can we just have one episode where it's only about droids, or like it has nothing to do with the Force or lightsaber or Sith or anything like that?
Yeah.
Was there? Yeah, I'm trying to recall when you
there
said that. I
one or
wanted
two
to recall
last
in my head
season.
because I know that there were.
I think so.
Wasn't there something on like their springboard of like things they wanted to create called like Star Wars: A Droid Story or something like that, or like Star Wars Droids?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
Boy droid.
I do remember that one. That's an Astro Boy. Like that's super like Astro Boy.
And he wanted to be Force sensitive, but he couldn't. Remember?
That one's really good.
Yeah,
it was all like white. Like the robot boy was all white, like porcelain.
Yeah.
it really made me think, like, especially this third one, like, really easily could have taken place not
True.
even inside the Star Wars universe and been like better for it, I think.
The second one could have not taken it place in Star Wars either.
They all could have, but like this third one, it took over halfway through, and Tyler, when you said, "Oh, mouse droid,"
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay,
Well,
that's
like
the
sound
first
effect even
overtly,
too, like the
Star Wars thing that we've seen." Anything else could have been. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they're like, "Oh, us," in the when they're showing the cave paintings, it's like you see a Star Destroyer, you see these things you recognize, but it doesn't mean anything. There's no reason for it to
them
be a
in
Star
this culture,
Destroyer.
it
It's
could
just
have been like the
that's
breaking
what
the
it is,
Prime
'cause it's
Directive.
Star
You know,
Wars.
there's like we don't know who these people are. They're just coming in with these machines and they're taking all of our resources. Like they could just be on the outer rim, not knowing what their place in the world is or what their place in the galaxy is. You know, and they just see these random people show up and kill everything. And like they don't know what an ATST is, what a Star Destroyer is, what the Empire even is, because they're not saying the Force. They're calling it Mom's strength. They're not saying these like things that we know as like the Force and becoming what, you know, maybe since their
Not
mom
saying
was a
what
Jedi,
it is.
she became one with the Force, and maybe they're just reflecting their culture is like of the stars, because obviously anybody in the Star Wars universe knows that.
Yeah.
All right, those are just, you know, other systems in our galaxy, right? Like they can travel to that star, they can hyper warp jump to that star if they wanted to, because the Jedis have archives, they have all this stuff mapped out. So they're so disconnected from the lore of the established Star Wars that it's kind of no. That's why I think it could work without even being connected to the Star Wars lore. Like it's just a well put together story, even if they didn't have the Star Wars incorporation stuff.
They want to keep reminding us how few Jedi there are, how important Luke's presence is.
I think that's going to be
but then there's
all
running
these
stories that we see of like,
gag, maybe
the Force
in such a weird way that there's going to be a character that has Force sensitivity, but then they're shunned and they said don't do it. But then they're going to use it, and then it's going to be that conflict for most of these. I guarantee you, there's going to be.
Well, these are all non-canon, obviously.
No, I know. So, I'm not talking. I don't give a shit about canon. I'm just saying,
I totally think they're going to be like.
Stop telling me the same story over and over again.
But lightsabers is fun to animate, dude.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah, the one in the first season we were talking about, Tyler, is called T0B1 with Toby. He was at the end. Toby's revealed to be powered by Kyber crystal.
I am a walking saber.
Kyber crystal.
Kyber crystal. This guy is talking to be able to wield the Force. And igniting the lightsaber kills the Inquisitor in a duel.
I'm excited to watch more and discuss more.
So, yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say about these? Did you have a favorite out of these three? Just these three, and then we'll do like a favorite out of all.
The second.
Favorite out of the three.
Good Lord, was that a fart? Oh my God. You thought really hard on that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's between the first and second one for me. I like the visual and the symbolism in the first one, but I liked how kind of depressing the second one was. Don't get me wrong, I like the third one too, but I think it's tough. It's somewhere between 1 and 2 for me.
I like the second one because it didn't have a happy ending. I like it because it didn't
sitting there and
tell a story that I've seen before.
This is just
Star Wars.
Sad. You're seeing her friends know what her fate is, Well, it's a downer.
It's
definitely a downer because you know.
That sad.
No, it was just kind of like.
I don't know.
I think it just leaves you with a lot of hanging what ifs and like what's going to happen, and leaves you with a lot of questions, and like you're not.
It's very
happy,
like,
but you're not
kid.
sad. Like it's kind of unnerving. It's weird.
She's getting into. She just is going off this random amulet, being told to do things, and she's like maybe being promised for a better life, but it's an empty promise because we know when we see her that she's definitely a Sith. She's got the yellow, gross eyes, and she's.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Mm-hmm. But she's angelic. She's definitely angelic.
But
she's glowing red.
But she's escaping.
Yep. Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Wilson?
Hello.
Hey. No.
Oh.
I was waiting for somebody to pick up what they
were
all
got
say.
Quiet there for a minute.
But yeah, there was. I would say it's an ambiguous ending for sure. It wasn't as definitive as the other endings. It definitely left you sitting there, wondering, what is going to happen to this kid. I didn't see it as like maybe a dour or a happy ending. It was definitely just like I have questions now, and I want to know more about this kid's fate,
Yeah.
I just kind of like mentally rolled my eyes on the third one where they somehow, just by like bringing down the one water tank, it like destroyed. It's somehow like, oh, there's now going to be fresh water that they can get, and all the mushrooms are going to be blooming and glowing, and like everything is as perfect as it could be.
Yeah, it's very much a fairy tale,
Yeah.
Yeah, the mom's length. The tales of fairies.
I would say the first one is my. It's hard for right now. I mean, right now I would say the first one because of the symbolism and the droid being so cool and the ship, and like there's just a lot of stuff I connected with. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's really cool. But then when we analyze the second one, I really liked how the discussion led to like, oh my gosh, look, she's walking out of a feather. It looks like an angelic thing coming to save this child, and the whole episode or that whole story was dark, and like the palette was really, they were using a lot of muted tones. But then when the Christ-like angel came to save the kid, light showed up, and you're like, oh, is this the salvation? But it's like, yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see the other episodes, and we'll discuss more. Hope you're enjoying them. I liked them. Me too. And we'll discuss later.
Me too.
Yes. Goodbye.
Yes.